Hello, so today I want to show you a new skill I created, and this skill is going to help you create a pure C++ JSI module. It's not going to use turbo modules or expo modules or nitro modules. And you might be thinking, what's the point of this? Actually, if you have seen my previous videos, you have seen that you can make your module even faster, sometimes a little bit faster, sometimes a lot faster, by accessing directly to the JSI abstractions. So by skipping all of the module systems, you might lose a little bit of flexibility and tooling, but you do gain a lot of control over the code, right? So I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to create a new library using BuilderBob or Create React Native library. I'm just going to call it a pure lib. Wait, I forgot to delete the old version. Okay, so just going to create the library. It's a pure lib. Yes, yes. Well, this failed, but I'm just going to do github.com Franco, yes, and I'm going to select a turbo module and a C++. I don't need all of this stuff, you can leave it if you want, but I'm just going to remove it. And that's going to generate the sample library, the default library. And once that's done and gives me control back, okay, anyways, I'm just going to go into the library and I'm just going to do npx skills, add, and then op engineering pure module skill. This is the skill that contains all of the instructions to properly modify the sample library. So you can see I've already selected Cloud Code. That's the agent that I'm using. I'm just going to leave everything else as default, and that's going to continue. So now in the pure lib, I'm just going to install the dependencies first. And once that's done, I'm just going to open my editor. I'm using Z, you can use whatever you want. It's going to start the cloud agent. And here I'm just going to do the / and the create pure module skill. Now that's going to take all of the instructions, all of the templates that I have used in my other libraries, and it's going to modify the BuilderBob project, right? So it's going to remove some stuff from package.json, and here below you can see it's asking me for a prefix because actually it's trying to generate the C++ files. And if you have a lot of C++ libraries, you might get some conflict. So now it suggests the pure lib prefix. I'm just going to say yes, fine. And it's going to continue generating the files, modifying the compilation. It's going to drop a bunch of sample files, but also the necessary bindings that it needs to start like this pure module. Now, this pure module, maybe you have seen my videos before, it has the entry point of a turbo module, but it's not a turbo module. It only requires that entry point so it can inject your JSI functions into the runtime. And once that's done, it runs kind of like its own thing. Now, also one benefit of this is that it doesn't need any code generation. Once it's there, you can modify it as you want. But also it won't give you any clashes if, let's say, Expo modifies their API or Nitro modules as well, as when they bump versions, some libraries get out of sync, right? All the code is in there. You don't need to add any library into your React Native app. You just install the package and it should work. So now you can see it has finished doing this thing. If you go into the CPP folder, it contains some sample files that kind of teach you how to do stuff. But it's also useful for your agent. You can just ask it to create more functions and it'll create it for you. It already contains like threading, so you can do async work, and some useful macros, some utilities to do the conversion from native values to JSI values. So it kind of does a lot of things for you. Now, before continuing, I'm just going to do one simple modification just to show you. This is the name of the library, but now it has been replaced with the example bindings that the skill provides. So here, I'm just going to say this is an object. I'm going to call the create example. And this creates a native host object. And within that host object, if you go through the files, you can see that that host object has some methods, which I can call. So you have one async method, you have some iteration. I'm just going to call the add one, and I'm just going to say add 2 + 3. Right, that's good enough as an example. And now I'm just going to go into my example, and I'm just going to call the yarn Android command. It will start the packager, and it will try to compile my app. Hopefully I can find where it's compiling the thing. Okay, Ghosty got a little bit buggy. But anyways, now you can see it's compiling the example app. We'll just let it compile for a little bit. Okay, so it has compiled, and you can see this is the result, right? The same goes for iOS. I'm not going to compile it right now, but it should just work. So if you take a look again into the source files, this is as raw as JSI as you can get, right? It's a host object that has some methods attached. You have the entry point of the library. It's pretty bare bones, so you don't need to worry about version incompatibilities. You don't need to install any package when you install this library into your app. It is basically the same Builder Bob template, so you can just publish it and then use it in any React Native app.